studio Dr. Brian Kelly of Clinton Community College. Brian, thanks so much for coming in. A lot of things going on at Clinton Community College.
Well, thanks for having me, Gary, and it's great to be here. There is a lot going on. You know, we are fortunate to have a community that supports us. We've got an enrollment increase of 4.5% this term, bucking national trends. We see a lot of colleges and universities down in enrollment. We're up. Campus is vibrant, and we're about to bring online our new Career Advancement Center right next to campus. That's a building that was supported by over 88% of the residents in Clinton County to really respond to a job market and the workers we need right here in the community, training students for the jobs that exist today.
You know, it really is a beautiful facility. If anybody has not driven by, take a look at it. And I drove by yesterday because I know you were coming in today, and I was just amazed the progress they continue to make every day.
Yeah, 18 months later, it's been an amazing project. When you think about supply chain and labor shortages, our partners have worked really hard. They knew we needed this building, we need the lab space, and I'm really pleased to share, I think the first time publicly, we just received notice yesterday evening that we'll be able to move our automotive technology students in as of today, so they'll be in that space. We're getting temporary occupancy, working very closely with the city, and culinary should go online next, and then our welding lab will have its safety check, and we should be there soon too. So really excited to get students into those spaces. On October 24th, we'll let the community see that building. So from 4 to 7 p.m. on October 24th, be an open house. I keep telling everyone in the community and students I talk to, the superintendents who have worked so closely with us, once you get in that building, it's going to sell itself. The automotive lab is gorgeous. The culinary lab looks like one of those fancy TV cooking shows. Welding lab is state of the art. There's not a more modern welding facility within 25 miles. It's brand new. It's state of the art. Students are going to be learning on equipment that's industry standard. And I think once we start touring our middle school students through there, that's already going to be in their head. I'm going to set my whole high school plan up. So my first few years, I'm taking care of the classes I need to get into that automotive lab, that engineering technology lab, that welding lab by the time I'm a junior. It's an amazing facility, and it's a real honor to the community who supported this and said, hey, we have a need for this. Our kids deserve the best. And
and there is a need for these things, the automotive work, culinary, and welding.
Yeah.
We need those kind of people in our community.
Absolutely. Healthcare, information technology, these are things we need, and these are the jobs that are available. These are good paying jobs available in our community. You can stay here, become a homeowner, a taxpayer, and we're excited because a lot of the industry locally has been importing people to take these jobs. We have strong graduating classes from our high school partners. We're partnering with all 8 Clinton and Jackson County high schools on this project.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I asked you off air what a typical day is for Brian Kelly, and you said you are meeting with people constantly.
Yeah, a part of this is relationship building, meeting with folks with industry, working closely with the superintendents, working closely with our chambers, working closely with our faculty, and at a district level, working with Eastern Iowa community colleges. We've been meeting with legislators recently, talking about the community college agenda for the state. We have a collective ask of what we'd like to see in terms of funding, what we'd like to see in terms of advantages to students. We had a really good session last year. We were able to pass a last dollar scholarship, which is a program that offers free tuition for high in-demand career technical education programs. For example, our engineering technology, our welding, our IT programs, all of those are last dollar scholarship. Those are tuition-free programs for students after their aid requirements have been settled. So an amazing opportunity. Last year we said a lot of our students are going part-time and they're not eligible for this last dollar scholarship. Can we change this? And with the support of the governor and with other legislators, we were able to pass that last year. So now part-time students can get the last dollar scholarship too. The reason, Gary, that's so important is we talk about student loans and we talk about student debt. Well, in Iowa, we tend to front load that. In Eastern Iowa community colleges, we make sure that we find low or no cost options for students to go to school. That way they're not acquiring that debt. So the debt conversation is much less in this community because what we've done is we've really figured out a way to pay for that ahead of time, and then students can avoid taking that debt to begin with.
I know you're a real proponent of community colleges, and I'm a graduate of a community college.
Me too.
I was out at Fort Dodge. They had a broadcasting program. I'm a Clinton native. I wanted to get into broadcasting. I found out that there was a community college in Fort Dodge that did have a broadcasting program. They were just starting it. It was in the early 70s. But that is the real niche of community colleges, is to get you into the workforce, and as you pointed out, without a real heavy debt load.
Yeah, and it's a great way to save money. It's a great way to start. It's a great way to be in smaller classes. You know, many of us attended universities where the lecture hall classes would be 150, 200 students. You don't get a lot of face time with your teacher. If you're going to a Clinton Community College course with 16 in there, you know, it's easy to walk up to the front of the class and ask your question at the end of the class period. A statistic I love sharing is that the students who start at community colleges and transfer to one of our great regions, we have great universities in this state, when our students transfer, they complete their four-year degree at rates equal to or often higher than the students that started there. So it's not only saving you money, statistically, you're prepped better to complete that four-year degree if you start with us.
Again, visiting with Dr. Brian Keller. We're going to be taking a break for the weather in a couple of minutes. But again, the Career Advancement Center coming along tremendously well. What's it like when you walk in? I'm sure you've walked in through the entire 18 months. Yeah. What has the progress been like for you?
Yeah. I'm so excited to share it with the community. It's a dream realized. You know, we realized that 65% of the jobs in this community require some sort of post-secondary education. Doesn't have to be a degree. You don't have to spend 2 years, but you might need a 9-month welding certificate or 6 months of this. Just a little something to give you an edge in a very competitive job market. And we've delivered. You know, we'll start a new building in Dewitt here that will be similar in size and similar in scope. And we're just so excited to bring these options to our community, to our students, and really respond to workforce. We've had workforce issues in this community for a number of years, filling positions. This is definitely a big part of that solution.
And of course, the grand opening again coming up on October 24th. That'll be a real treat for the public to take a walk through that.
It will, and I hope we have a great crowd. It's an amazing building to see.
Again, let's take our break for the weather. More with Dr. Brian Kelly after this from Clinton National Bank.
So another frosty start, but I do expect more warmth to move in for this afternoon. Skies remain mostly sunny. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. Not as cold tonight, mostly clear. Lows in the low 40s. And back to the 70s for Friday. Low 70s with a mostly sunny sky. With your Storm Trek 8 forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Thank you, Andrew. Right now, sunshine. We're up to 47 degrees. Our winds now are out of the southeast. This update brought to you by Clinton National Bank.
We live in a digital world today, so it's important to keep your personal matters safe. Here's a couple of tips to help you do that. Always change your online passwords often. Be careful what programs you download onto your computer or phone, and don't share too much personal information on social media. Clinton National Bank wants to help keep both you and your money safe. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Again, on FYI, we are visiting with Dr. Brian Kelly of Clinton Community College. You mentioned the Dewitt Center. How did this all come about? You've got groundbreaking coming up on October 5th.
Yeah. So when we were really looking at delivering to all 8 of our Clinton and Jackson County high schools in the Clinton Community College District, we kept looking for locations, and there were several locations considered. We decided that if we put one close to the main campus, put a center out in DeWitt, really focusing on our DeWitt and Cal Wheat students, and then expanded the options at our existing Ccda Center, that would be the way we could best serve a community that includes, kind of DeWitt to Bellevue, Ccda to Clinton. It's a big square, right, of 2 counties. So these 3 locations gave us the strategic edge to offer a variety of programs. Any student can go to any of the centers. So if DeWitt didn't have, if they didn't have a welding program, they'd be able to go to Ccda or Clinton if they had students interested in welding. It's so nice. Every morning I see the van from Northeast pull up, and students pile out, and some of them head to healthcare, and some of them head to automotive, and they're doing it. There's no way any of us could have done this individually, put together $20 million worth of investment in just career technical programs, but together, this is something we built.
You guys did a good job of selling that and getting people to come out to vote, but to vote yes for it, they had to believe in what the community college was going to be able to offer to our area.
Yeah, and I think that's true. One of our themes at the college this year is telling our story, and I talk to our team often about how we tell our story and how we stress our importance. Some of the things we've talked about today: cost savings, small class sizes, ability to transfer to a 4-year college, or ability to go right into the workforce. So all of those are things that give us a competitive edge. And then our cost advantage. As we look at competitors in the area, there's no contest. You can get in our programs for low or no cost often, and we're going to be the lowest cost tuition for these programs. And I say that, and you think lowest cost, so what's the compromise? There's no compromise. You also get the state of the art and the best equipment. These are modern facilities that are coming online currently with the best of everything. So we really have a great competitive edge. I think the community recognizes that, and it's a great investment.
We've been talking about the career advancement and the welding and different things like that. Let's talk a little bit about the liberal arts part of it, because there are people who do go to a community college basically before they go to a 4-year, but they're not there to be a welder. They want to be a teacher, or they want to be something in business. Talk about that aspect.
Right. So our transfer students, clearly 50% of our enrollment, students who are looking to get that 2-year degree and transfer to University of Iowa, go up to UNI. A lot of our programs are aligned and articulated, so the students are taking the classes they need that'll transfer to that school. Great cost savings, allows them oftentimes to live at home and save some money. They get those credits, they save some money, they're not paying rent, and again, that base is making them a good candidate to be able to complete that 4-year degree.
And to get it done in 4 years.
And to get it done in 4 years.
Oh, well, that would be
which
great.
Every parent likes to hear, right?
Exactly. One of your talking points, Arboretum Ccda grant and future plans for the Arboretum.
Yeah, so we were just thrilled this week, late last week, early this week, to find out that the Ccda had awarded a $500,000 grant to our Arboretum project. We've been working with the community. This is through the foundation with Ann Eisenman and team, and we were given that gift from the Bickelhops and an endowment to run that, but we aren't generating revenue off that enterprise to really think about the long-term fiscal sustainability of that. So our foundation board said, could we look at this? And we thought, boy, if we could make that more of an event center that was rentable space in a beautiful area, could we generate enough revenue to maybe make that self-sustaining, because it costs us about $200,000 a year in arborist and landscaping and the folks that take care of it to keep that as nice as it is. And we think we have a business model set. We have a vision. This will be entirely through the foundation. We're feeling like we've made a good jump, about a $5 million project. The Ccda grant helps tremendously. We're thrilled that they saw the value of this to the community. And there are some beautiful drawings of what this could look like. Big deck, big room, conference space, meeting space. And we're excited to embark on this project as early as next summer.
Wow, what a vision. You know, I would never have thought of, doing something along these lines, but that's just great to hear.
It is. We were really challenged by our foundation board. What are we going to do? What's the future of this? So we got creative, and working with Shive Hattery Architects, we were able to kind of build this vision of community, nature, and education, and what the Bickelhops have always wanted. Part of this really feels like it honors the Bickelhops legacy of what they wanted to do with that space. I feel as a public steward, as a steward of the Arboretum and as a steward of public dollars, it's a responsible thing to do, because if we can find a self-sustaining model to that, it ensures that the community gets that resource for the future.
So this, of course, is just kind of in the planning stages. So when does everything get to go? I mean, when's the?
We would love to hit our goal, our fundraising goal. We'll go into private fundraising stage here pretty quickly.
Okay.
We have a Destination Iowa grant application out there that I think is very strong and would be a great use of those dollars to get them to Eastern Iowa and to get them to the city of Clinton. And I think we could be starting construction next summer 23.
Amazing.
Which will be when we're finishing the Dewitt project.
So much going on. How do you keep it all straight?
A great team. There's a lot of people who really care about the work that we do. And I just came in and I said, here are some of the things we're going to do. Here are some of the things that we're going to focus on. And I have folks that have just run with it. So you're only as strong as the team around you.
Again, you talked briefly earlier about the fall enrollment at Clinton Community College and how it is up. So that's such good news.
It is good news. And I think it's experiences of students who are in the programs. They're already having great experiences. They're working with teachers. They're working one-on-one. They see the value of that. We've had valedictorians, from area high schools come there. They realize that this is a strong base and it's a direct path to their next goal. And as we keep telling that story and people realize the value of education, I think we'll keep seeing people come up. And certainly our CTE enrollment is about to explode.
Okay, very good. Again, Dr. Brian Kelly, our guest. Of course, Clinton Community College is part of the Eastern Iowa Community College system. How does that system work, Doctor?
So what we have is 3 colleges who have traditionally been in areas and existed before they were brought together, right? So Muscatine is 90, has been around for 90 years, which is incredible and amazing to think about. And they're doing amazing things at Muscatine Community College. Clinton Community College on its 76th year. Scott is the baby, more like 50 years old. The late 60s it started, and then at some point the district was brought together as the state kind of consolidated. We have a lot of things that are centralized in terms of business office, human resources. Some of the things are all centralized, but the colleges make their own decisions to respond to local need. So we're developing programs that we believe will help our local industry. And it's a great partnership. We work well together, the 3 entities, and essentially at the end of the day, we're one giant college system, making agreements and articulation agreements with valued community partners in our universities.
So how does the community college system in the state of Iowa overall, how do you guys work together? Because there are so many community colleges. As I pointed out, I went to Iowa Central Community College in Fort Dodge, and I know they had Webster City and I believe like Eagle Grove and things like that.
Right. So in order to really be able to serve all the citizens of Iowa, they've divided it up into community college districts, and we work well together. We have similar asks, we have similar goals, and there's a lot of organization in Des Moines that really coordinates our efforts. Part of when we talk to legislators, that's a coordinated effort across the state. The Council Bluffs request isn't different than the Clinton, Iowa request. It's one request throughout the state. We feel this will work, and the presidents and the chancellors work together closely to coordinate that work.
How often do you folks get together? I mean, do you get the opportunity to visit with other presidents?
So we do see other presidents. Our new chancellor, Dr. Williams, meets monthly with other chancellors and presidents throughout the state, and Zoom has opened that up. Many of us serve on different committees. I serve on a few state committees, so we get to connect that way. Technology has helped.
How do you get to be on a state committee? How does that work for you?
Oftentimes you're requested, sometimes you apply. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be going, in early November, I'll be headed to Washington, D.C. I serve on a national commission for the Association of Community Colleges on a national level, and it's a committee for small and rural colleges. So there are about 18 of us chosen nationally through an application process to influence the national discussion and D.C. legislators on what community colleges need. My focus is specifically on smaller colleges and rural colleges have different needs than perhaps a DMAC or a Kirkwood would in our larger metropolitan areas.
Also very interesting, if people would like to find out more about Clinton Community College and the community college system, how can they best do that, Doctor?
So they can certainly call us. You can write me directly, at email, and it's bekelly@eicc.edu. I get a lot of email, a lot of phone calls, a lot of text, and I like it that way because we like to say community's our middle name. So if we're not engaging with the community, we're not doing it right.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
KROS, Kelly Heating and Air, and our participating sponsors give you the chance to win $100 each week in the Grid Gallop game. Choose who you think will win from our selected college and NFL games, and for the tiebreaker, don't forget to write down your predicted score